Morning grade 5s. We're continuing from our previous lesson where we were finding one part of a whole. Today we're going to be finding more than one part of a whole. So let's look at this problem. If I have got 20 apples in a box, I'm sure you can picture that box full of lovely red and green apples. A quarter of them are green. So we've got this big box of apples. A quarter of them are green. So we want to know how many of the apples are green. We've been given the fraction. Now we want a number. We want to know how many apples are green. So our problem is going to look like this. A quarter of 20. Because we've got 20 apples and a quarter of them are green. Now, in the last lesson, I showed you how to do this in a short method. 20 divided by 4 is 5. So a quarter of 20 is 5. That means that 5 of the apples are green. The rest of the apples must therefore be red. So if we've got a quarter of them as green, how many are red? What fraction of the box are red? Well, if 4 out of 4 is a whole, that's the whole box of apples, and we've already worked out 1/4, we are left with 4 minus 1 is 3, and remember that your denominators stay the same. 3/4 plus 1/4 equals 4/4. So if a quarter of them were green, 3/4 of them are red. So, how many apples are red? You will notice before we even begin that over here we have a 3 on top of the denominator, and up here we had 1 on top of the denominator. That is what we're focusing on now. 3/4 of 20. Well, you know that we say 20 divided by 4 is 5. We worked it out before. But 3/4 of 20 is not 5, because 1/4 of 20 is 5. So we have to take our 1/4 and multiply it by 3. So we take our answer and we multiply it by 3, which is 15. So 15 apples are red. Let's have a look at another one. If I have got 30 balls, 1/3 of them are soccer balls. The rest are rugby balls. So I've been given this clue. 1/3 are soccer balls. Well, if 1/3 are soccer balls and the rest are rugby balls, 2/3 must be rugby balls. Let's have a look at how I got that. 1 plus 2 is 3. Let's work them out. Our first sum will be 1/3 of 30 because 1/3 of them are soccer balls. 30 divided by 3 is 10. So our answer is 10. Let's look at the rugby balls. 2/3 of 30 is 30 divided by 3, which is 10. But look what we've got on top. We don't have a 1 on top. And 10 is 1/3. We want 2/3. So we must take our 1/3 and multiply it by 2, which is 20. So let's look at what we've got. 10 of the 30 balls are soccer balls, and 20 of the 30 balls are rugby balls. And if we add our 10 and our 20 together, we get 30. And remember, we had 30 balls altogether. Let's look at one more problem before you start the exercise. Let's use biscuits this time. If half a packet of biscuits is 9 biscuits, how many biscuits are in a whole packet? Well, you know that if we cut something in half, there are 2 sides, and they are equal. So if a half plus a half is 1 whole packet, then surely 9 plus 9 will be 18 biscuits, because if half a packet is 9 biscuits, then the other half will also be 9 biscuits, and in total we will have 18 biscuits.